I want to share just one or two simple things around your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and the message that you put out there in the marketplace when it comes to having kick-ass confidence in the marketplace. And these are small, simple things that can make a big difference. As always, when it comes to personal style, it's the little things that make a difference. First of all, obvious things, right? So body language is the non-verbal part of your message. And there's a lot of science around how much of our message is nonverbal, how much of it actually lands on the other side, how much has its own impact. And you might have heard different stats from different sources. Whatever those sources are, whatever those facts are, the science and the evidence is overwhelmingly in the same direction, that your nonverbal communication is powerful and it sends messages all the time. So for example, you will know if your husband or your wife or your friend is not happy with you and she goes, I'm fine. Okay, what you're saying and what your body is saying is not lining up. And so take that into a business context, take that into the marketplace. And if you just go, yep, no, it's all good. And I think we're in agreement and we could, okay, you've lost eye contact. You're saying, yep, it's all good, when you're actually saying no with your head. And you're sending the message that your verbal is not lining up with your nonverbal. And that's a key thing in portraying and sending a confident and strong, trustworthy message. To be trustworthy is essential in the marketplace. There is enough skullduggery going on out there. You don't want to be part of that crap. You want to be a woman of substance, a woman of style, a woman of strength with scruples. Radical transparency is what I like, and honesty and integrity. And even if it's convenient and it loses you money, radical transparency, and ensuring that you build a community of people that are also radically transparent and honest and open and will own their shit, by the way, when they screw up, because most people won't. Anyhow, moving on. So your verbal must line up with your nonverbal. It's absolutely key. And people who really have studied body language and who are looking for signals can pick it up like that when you're not telling the truth. It's body language 101. Alan Pease, P-E-A-S-E, is a long-standing expert on this subject. When I was in my 20s, I was doing presentation skills training and I started studying him. And I actually went to an international sales conference in London where he was actually one of the keynote speakers. Phenomenal guy, hilarious guy. And he is very, very astute, and the way he teaches how to understand and look for body language signals is amazing. So when people are hiding something, and this is most important when you're talking about money, right? When you're talking about money, or you're about to do a deal, or you're negotiating an agreement, it's really important because people are not always comfortable with, just reading the contract and moving on. They're doing business with you. And the same as you doing business with someone else. When you get into an agreement with someone, a contract, you're getting into bed. It's just as plain and simple as that. So we have learned the freaking hard way, boy, being screwed over and lost money and being embezzled. And we have learned the right way, the hard way. I reckon learning the hard way is the best way to learn. Partnerships are tricky. So whether you're in real estate or whether you negotiate services or whether you are a full-time homeschooling mom, you negotiate and communicate and connect with people all the time. Unless you are living on an island by yourself and you'll never see people again, well, then body language doesn't matter. But of course, that's probably not the case for you, nor is it for me. So eye contact is important, right? And you've got to slow down, make sure that what you're saying is understood. And at the end of what you've said, you also want to say, can you just tell me what you've understood me to say? Because oftentimes when I've asked that question, they've come back with something else. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I asked you that question. Let me say it in a different way. So eye contact is important. It's really important. And when the verbal lines up with the nonverbal, there will be a relaxed but strong posture, confident, all in, and eye contact, the smile, nodding of the head when there's agreements, just saying, I don't know, can we just spend a bit more time on this so we can clarify issues? All kinds of things matter. And I always say this, your heart is your brand. Your face is not your brand. Your business is not your brand. Your body is not your brand. Your heart is your brand. So you want to be 100% committed to yourself if you want to attract people who are committed to you as well, most especially if you want to rise up in your leadership and raise up others to support your vision. Okay, so the handshake is another one. Okay, this is just, man, I've got to tell you, if you're a hugger, that's okay. But don't diss the guy who puts his hand, especially a woman, okay? I can't even tell you how many years I've tolerated. Yes, I've tolerated this nonsense. I've got lots of people in my life who are big time huggers and new friends and acquaintances I make at conferences, and and I genuinely am happy to see them, and like I am my preference, and I'm trained. I've been in business for 33 years, and I've been in corporate for a lot of that time, and I actually attribute my corporate career to much of the spirit of excellence that I had to evolve in that environment. Like you either sink or swim. There is no kind of learn on the go here. It's the spirit of excellence in that environment is powerful, and I loved it, and I learned to connect up front, and just to be proactive and put your eyes and your smile in my young 20s and early 20s, and put your hand out. So when I see someone and I go, hey, nice to see you, what I get a lot outside of the business environment, in a personal environment, or at a conference, oftentimes is, shaking hands is so formal. Oh, I'm a hugger. Wow. And then I get enveloped, involuntary flipping body contact. And oftentimes lipstick ends up on my white shirt. And these things irritate me. They irritate me. I'm about to walk in to an early conference, and now I've got red lipstick that I must sit with on my collar the whole day. That irritates me. Doesn't happen once. It's happened like multiple times. And also, I quite like my space. There's nothing wrong with preferring to do a handshake with people that you don't really know. And there's nothing wrong with not being a hugger. Just don't let anyone tell you different, okay? So when it comes to the handshake, professional, experienced businessmen and women are comfortable with confident handshakes. So you don't ever want to do this, hi, nice to meet you, because if you're saying confident, hi, nice to meet you, and we cover so much of this body language and the nonverbal in our negotiation and communication skills training we've been doing for 15, 16 years. It's actually so much fun. I love it. And so if you're saying, hi, nice to meet you, and everything else is confident, but you give this little wet fish handshake, it doesn't line up. It's just like, oh, people remember that rather than, hi, nice to meet you, how you doing? They remember the wet lettuce. They remember the limp. And everyone, men and women go, especially women and women, just go, oh. You also don't want to do that, bone crushing handbrake to assert yourself, and you're playing with the big boys now in the boardroom, and you want to be yourself. You want to be comfortable. You want to be confident, and that's on you to learn the skills that you need and to be prepared for whatever the meeting is. Okay, we're talking specifically in the marketplace now. It's equally important when you meet people over dinner, and it's a business meeting over dinner, but in a personal environment. You want to be able to shake a hand with eye contact and a relaxed but firm grip, and communicate verbally and non-verbally that you are a confident, smart, successful, approachable, interesting woman of substance who, people should get to know. That's what that is. So the handshake is key, and there's all kinds of different, we could spend hours on this, which I have before, which I love. There's all kinds of different nuances and preferences culturally. In my country, one of the cultures here to shake hands is if somebody shakes hands and they hold their elbow, that is a real sign of honor. Like they are humbled and honored to meet you. So what do? You reciprocate and say, it's such an honor to meet you. In the Japanese culture, what we do in the West is we don't even use business cards anymore. But when we used to, or when we do, and then you have a business card, and then we just go, here's my card, and then we receive it with one hand, right? But in the Japanese culture, there's a huge amount of importance and prestige on this card. It contains their identity in their professional role in the marketplace. So they actually hand it over with two hands. So what do? You receive it with two hands, and you don't put it in your jacket pocket at the meeting. You put it on the table. So you're showing him and you're saying to him, I'm honored to meet you, and I see your credentials, and I'm going to keep it here in front of me for the duration of the meeting. All of these little nuances are phenomenal, fantastic things that will boost your confidence, send a message of confidence, and really help you to get up, dress up, and go and nail that interview and be set apart. If you are in real estate, for example, this is a field that really interests me. I might get into it one day, who knows? Not for a while, but to set yourself apart in real estate is not difficult. Have a look around you. They're all wearing the same thing, all of them. And those who are standing out because of how they dress, they all talk too much. They do all the talking. Let me tell you about this, and this is why it's so beautiful, and come over here. Not one question. Not at the door. Here's how I would do it. If you're in real estate, here's what's coming. So you want to dress in a way where they're going to remember the house and remember you. Wear something that is eye-catching and conversation starting. Look for something on her that you like, that you can compliment her on. Don't use false flattery. That's going to get you nowhere, and you will know about that, and you're just cheating yourself. I don't believe in false flattery, but you can connect on that, and then you'll smile, and they need to remember you as much as they remember the house, because that's going to be a double positive connection for them. It's very powerful. And then you don't want to be giving them a non-stop soliloquy of why the house is perfect for them. And so before we walk in the front door, just, tell me what it is that you're looking for in a home, so that as we go, I can highlight whether those features are here or whether they're not here. And if they're not here, whether we can do something about it. Can you imagine, like, if someone was at the front, you were like, wow, thank you, because these guys who are looking for a home have been looking for ages, and they see lots of houses. Some of them buy on the first, but that's unusual. A lot of them will have a look at lots of homes before they make a decision. What must it be like to meet a real estate agent who is this beautifully dressed woman? She's kind and approachable as well. She's humble. She's not full of herself. And she's successful, but she's not above her station. And she's made personal contact. And she says at the door, before we go in, tell me in your own words, what does your ideal home look like? I know there's some physical features here, and the square meterage and everything meets your needs, but tell me what you want to come home to. What does that look like? Then you will get some specific and powerful words out of those people, especially the woman, and you'll go, okay, so then you'll know where to highlight those things in which room, rather than giving them this, I've heard it. I've got friends and clients in real estate, and I say to them, don't give this half-hour presentation as you go through, because then you typically will leave them alone to discuss it. And there's a better way. There's a better way. Ask questions, gather information. It's not just that is a negotiation. The negotiation is not when you sit down and do a contract together. That is the assumption of what a negotiation is. That's not it. Your negotiation begins at your very first point of contact. So the first time somebody contacts you to arrange a viewing, or to set up a meeting, or to discuss that deal, or to go for the interview, that very first point of contact, the negotiation begins. Because negotiation is not what you think it is. And that's another conversation for another time. And we have a negotiation workshop coming up. Go to our Dress to Connect group and go to the events tab and click on that, and you will see what's coming your way. A ridiculous opportunity that if you work and you don't sign up for this program, you're an idiot. I'm just going to say it. I won a sales award in London years ago on this training, years ago. And so, yeah, it's powerful stuff. So you want to get smart, because it's going to increase your self-confidence, because your skills are valuable, and the marketplace is looking for powerful, successful, valuable women to do life with and to do business with. So when it comes to your body language, when you're sitting at the table or you're standing with someone, you don't want to be slouching, right? Because what does this look like? It's like, maybe she's interested, maybe she's not, like, what's going on? And especially if you're like, now here's a misconception about body language, and we won't go into too much more of it, but that people say, like, yeah, well, if she looks at her watch, she must be bored. Or if she sits like this and she crosses her arms, she's not interested, or she's closed. No, don't make that naive, immature assumption. Body language comes in clusters of messages. It's clusters of messages you're looking for, 2 or 3 or 4. So if I go, oh, that's great. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay, now I've got 3 or 4 messages. I've lost interest, or I'm trying to say to you, okay, I'm not connecting with this, because people don't always say what they want to say. They don't, communication is an ongoing life skill, and we need to constantly learn. So you want to make sure that you're aware of your body language, most especially, oh my gosh, on Zoom. I am shocked and horrified how women still are on Zoom, on here, and then they have another meeting going on over here, okay, right over here, and they've forgotten about this video over here, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, the volume is off, but what they're doing is, okay, looking like idiots, and it's just, come on, man, we have passed the stage where we need to learn these skills. We're past the stage where you can sit on a Zoom call like this, and like this, looking for your glasses, going like this. You can't do that anymore. You can't. No one's going to take you seriously, and then you wonder why no one's taking you seriously, why you're being overlooked, and why things are not happening. Come on now, you've got to get serious. Confidence in the marketplace is a skill that you can learn. And we are talking self-confidence a lot. We have been a lot. We do This is what I do. Confidence coaching through the power of personal style. It's very, very powerful. Style is a mindset, not restricted to what you wear, but most definitely the Ferrari in your closet is a vehicle that will take you places. I've been living that way for 17 years. So I'm going to wrap it up there. The next time someone comes to you and says, hi, nice to meet you, and shakes your hand, don't go, I'm a hugger. That just makes you look like an idiot, makes you look like you're immature and you don't know what you're doing as a professional. Okay, so if someone, what is the honoring thing to do? Respond with a handshake. If someone hugs, and I do this a lot, okay, and someone, I know they like to hug, and I'm like, I'm just going to be hugging today because I know I'm in an environment where people like to hug. I will do it. I won't like it, but I'll do it because I want to honor. And by day 2, I might go, yeah, I just, I put my hand out. And if someone goes, I've done it once in my life. No, twice. Where after years of having this, like, oh, I don't shake hands, it's like, they almost like respond to it as if it's a dirty thing. Like, my hands are perfectly clean, by the way. And they'll go like, I'm a hugger, blah. And twice I've stopped them after years. I'm going like, well, I'm a handshaker and it's still lovely to meet you. And they've gone, oh, and they've given me this little handshake and walked off. So because I didn't hug again for the 10th time and they didn't want to shake my hand, never saw them again. They never approached me again. And like, so your hand is a very personal thing. Your hand touches your face. Your hand touches your money, your children, your work, your hand. You use your hands when you pray with your children. So for me, when we shake hands, it is that our paths are crossing for the first time in life. Who knows if they will cross again? But I want to shake your hand. For me, it's like holding hands. It's very personal. And I want to give you eye contact and a smile and a few words. And it may be 3 or 4 seconds. And then our paths, separate again. What a moment you like, here you're hugging, you're looking at each other, you look, here you've got eye contact and smile, and really nice to meet you. I've been looking forward to this meeting, and oh my gosh, you look beautiful, and here's to a successful meeting, whatever it is, okay? So your body language is such a key part of your confidence. We've got webinars coming up. We have the negotiation workshop coming up. We have, of course, in our client, only in our client community, in the Power Personal Style. It is in week 3 where you come onto the confidence chapter. And there's a whole load, and obviously it continues all the way through. But you want to relax in who you are. This is why you have to face the woman in the mirror. This is why the spirit of beauty is an inside job, but you are not disconnected from your outside. So if you're a woman of faith and you say, yeah, well, God loves me as I am and I don't have to dress up, and that is just so not biblical. Someone has trained you that way, or you've persuaded yourself that way because you're lazy. Yes, I said it. If you are a woman of faith and you just said, God loves me just as I am, yeah, he does. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Have you read the scriptures on his call to action, his spirit of excellence, never be lacking in zeal, do all things as unto him. Your body is not your own. Glorify your body through to him. I mean, it's just nonstop. Royal robe, set apart nation, chosen people, kings in the marketplace. Hello. Don't even try and tell me that God doesn't care about what you wear. I'm ready for that conversation. I have been for years and years and years, and I have it on a regular basis, and I love it because it's powerful, it's encouraging, and it's beautiful evidence that God does care about what we wear. So yes, your spirit of beauty is an inside job. Your inside is not disconnected from your outside. You are a whole complete being. I don't know if you noticed the last time you looked in the mirror. And beauty is all encompassing and must show up on the outside. That is excellence. That is beauty. That is influence. That is confidence. So nice chatting with you. Join us in Dress to Connect. Have a look at the events tab for upcoming events. You're so welcome to join us, and send in your questions. If you've got questions, put them in the group here. I'd love to connect with you, and I'd love to hear your experiences on the other side of any webinars that you do. If you have had any increased confidence, if you have had any increased opportunities come your way, like all of our clients do, promotions, launching new businesses, meeting that man. I don't guarantee the man, but it's often a result. I don't guarantee the salary income, but it's often a result. You have been given the gift of time to be on this earth and to love your loved ones and be loved and to bring something beautiful and powerful and valuable to your corner of the world. So start having fun with it. And when you learn to master your time, you will learn how to, you don't get to master money or anything else until you master time. That is something that I've learned. Time comes first because it's our most valuable thing. You have nothing without time. You can be the healthiest fitness freak on the planet. Without time, you're not alive. So time Time is really important. How are you using your time? Use it to learn, always grow. Press play, walk and listen to a book, whatever it is. There's so much valuable stuff out there that if you are, that's how your self-confidence goes up, is when you learn new skills, then your value goes up and the marketplace pays for value. So your value goes up, your self-confidence goes up, because self-confidence, remember, is self-trust. So wherever you are in the world or wherever you're listening from, I hope that you will stay plugged in here via YouTube or our Dress to Connect group. You can connect with us on Instagram or go to www.lindapage.com, watch the video. And if you feel like you're ready to take action, if you feel like that you want to change your status quo to a bold, beautiful, confident tomorrow, book a call with me and let's take it from there.